JQ Crafty here with another off the board with pineapple papers. Today is, what is today? Oh, July 8th. And so I am actually scrap lifting. I actually love this layout from Jennifer Gagne, Kay's mom, and I wanted to scrap lift it, but I also have a need to get certain items done. So I thought this would actually be a layout I could kind of translate and use elements from it in a pocket page. So I love that she has the strips, and I'm going to do 2-inch strips because this pocket right here happens to be 2 inches. I thought it'd be a nice dynamic for a pocket page. Plus I like all the strips on the bottom as well. So I might put that across at just at one point, whether it actually be under all the photos or not, because I have enough photos. So I have enough photos that I didn't want to do 2 different pocket pages. Yeah, so I'm going to just put them all on this one, but I really like the idea of the strips, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to challenge myself and play with the Mercy Tiara Grab 5 challenges going on right now in the Mercy Tiara group. And for that, you need stencil, puffy sticker alphas, triangles or diamond shape, 2 different size photos, and wood veneer. Well, I definitely have 2 different size photos. I have like 4 different size photos. I have some wood veneer because my son's baptism was in December. It was actually the Sunday before Christmas. So it was really nice that we had all the Christmas decorations. So I have this wood veneer, and I have these cute little trees that I might try and pop off these clothespins because I really like them. I also have a tree stencil that I was thinking about one of the strips putting stencil with this glitter gel from Stickles on it to give it some interest. And then I also have a triangle stencil that I could do that with as well. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I figured this would be my triangles. But I felt like it was cheating that I was doing a triangle stencil. I didn't check if that was okay, so I'll do another stencil, I guess. But I also could count on here, these trees are all triangles, so I thought about counting that as well. So I figured that way I'm covered no matter what. And then I have the puffy gold thickers called Chill. I don't remember if this was a Crate Paper collection, maybe 2019s or 2018s, I can't remember. But I have a lot of leftovers from this old Christmas kit I had, and I unfortunately took all the branding strips off, so I have no idea what this one's from. But yeah, that's my plan, so let's get started. Alrighty. I think I say that every time, so I'm really sorry if you get sick of that. So honestly, I really liked the idea of the 2-inch strips, and that worked out really well. Because of how I have my photos, where I have my photos, where they end up, I don't end up actually doing any of the paper layers, the thin strips, or like, I think Jen almost had some washi tape like under her photos as a shelf. And in pocket pages, to me, like, you don't really need a shelf necessarily sometimes because they're in pockets. So it's kind of like a given shelf already. But anyway, so I don't end up doing that. But I stick with the strips. And it actually took a lot of brain power to figure this out. So also because this is a scrapbook.com brand pocket page, like the page protector. I don't know if they make this exact style anymore. But it was kind of frustrating because all the strips don't add up, all the pockets don't actually add up to 12 by 12. They add up to more. That 2-inch strip on the left-hand side is actually 2 by 12 and a half. So there's at least another 1/2 inch on the entire thing. So it did create some brain power needed to figure out how I was going to stretch the strips. Now, so I cut out some of it. So what I did is I cut all the paper down to 2 inches, and then I actually just shaved off like the tiniest bit so that I could have a white border on them all. And then the white border is exactly 2 inches wide. So I just shaved off, it was like 1/8 of an inch, maybe even 1/16. It wasn't very much. I didn't measure exactly, but I was able to eyeball and shave off just enough. And so first so I did all that, and then I made like I made white just out of some white cheap paper, I had the 4x6 cards, because they're actually like 4 1/8 by 6 1/8. That's the weird thing about, that's what I like pocket pages, but I hate them for that reason. Like these ones specifically, some other ones I have are not like that, but these ones specifically are not exactly 4x6 or 2x12. It's 2x12 1/2, 6x4 1/8. Like they're just yeah. So I ended up actually so I basically made kind of like place cards for all the pockets so that it was easier for me to line up everything. So, and then that way I have the white built in. So I cut the 2-inch strips first, even in the white, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna need to help line these up, I'm gonna need the 4x6 cards, and I ended up just cutting them 4x6 instead of doing the 4x6 and 1/8 or 6x4 and 1/8. I was like, screw it, I don't care if there's a little wiggle room. Nah. For them to fit perfectly, though, they need like an extra 1/8 of an inch. It's so weird. So I cut out a lot of me fiddling with that and trying to brain power work it. But so right now what I'm just doing is taking all those strips and I'm doing the three horizontal 4x6 pockets, and then, I just did them, and now I'm doing the 2 vertical 4x6 pockets, and it looks really cool. And what's nice is I have the one photo down there, so it covers up. That's why the polka dot pattern, I didn't have a 12-inch strip, but I figured, this will work good because that photo down on the bottom is long, big enough that it'll cover up where 2 strips would be anyway. So that worked out really well in my favor. So I went ahead, and since I made those like cheapy, with the cheapy white paper, the place holders for those pockets, I just adhered the strips down and cut them as I went to do the 3 horizontal ones, and then I did the same thing for the 2 vertical ones. So I'm just making sure all the paper lines up. But so these 2 vertical ones was where it got tricky, because them 2 lined up like that actually is a little bit more than 12 inches. So I figured out how I could space my photos, and then I'm cutting a little gap in the pattern papers, and the photos will cover them up, and you will never, ever, ever know. Never know. So I've already got my 2 different size photos down, and here I am going to put some triangles on. I'm not going to count this as my stenciling. This is my triangles. So I'm using some of the Vicki Boutin acrylic paint, and or is it High Swap? Who made this stuff? No, Vicki Boutin. That's what I thought. I had a brain fart for a second. In rose gold, and I used that through that Simple Stories stencil, or Echo Park stencil, Simple Stories. Wow, I'm really bad at that today. And I just put some rose gold on the one kind of blue strip that's going to be in the 2 vertical spots to give that one a little more interest, since there is like a solid blue one on the very far left in that skinny pocket. So I'm adding a bunch of the puffy stickers from that thicker sheet. So I've got those taken care of. I've got my triangle shape taken care of. I got my 2 different size photos taken care of. I have that wood veneer right there. And then now I need to just use an additional stencil, because like I said, I wasn't sure if I could overlap and stencil triangles. So I'm doing another stencil later, just in case. But yeah, besides the brain power that it took, so this layout took me, it was over an hour, just because it was like tedious, like, okay, cut, making sure I line everything up right. And I was kind of chatting with my son, and not like, he was downstairs playing as well. There I was showing you, I have this little weeding hook tool for my silhouette that I use that to, when I'm putting on glue dots, because I only have one size of glue dots. When I'm putting them on the back of like wood veneer, I use that to like fold it over, because my fingers stick to it so bad. So I use it to fold it over so it matches the shape that I'm putting on, because it usually overlaps. So that's a fun little tip if you guys have one of those tools and it's just sitting around. Because if you buy like a tool pack, that's kind of just what you get. So yeah, so then now I'm just kind of going around placing some wood veneer down. So I've got that done in some of the pockets. I love the way those little trees popped off, those clothespins, and the way they look. I like the little black trees. They're really cute. So I've kind of just decorated each pocket a little bit with something. And I end up kind of thinking, I'm adding the word joy up there. I'm end up kind of using that as my title, peace and joy. I find a little, there's actually not very many alphas in my 2 sticker books I have, I have 2 sticker books that I didn't buy for any collection. I just have the pink paisley one. It's like an older one, and then a Dear Lizzie one. And I think I got them on clearance, so I bought them just to have some. And there's actually not that many tile stickers in them. I have a One Canoe 2 one also. I think that does. I should have looked in there, but. So I'm adding a little ampersand, and then on that bottom card, I added our above the wish ephemera piece. So it just says our wish, and then it's just all his baptism photos. So I figured it went well. And this little flare badge was in this old kit as well. I kind of pulled out my Christmas stash, and that's where I got all the wood veneer from. They were from another collection, just stuff I have left over in my Christmas stash. So here I am kind of rigging up this 2-inch strip, and this other, I wasn't going to use this other little ephemera piece. This is our tree, but it was like perfect to fit the gap of where I needed to cut this one so it actually fit in the pocket. So it kind of just worked out perfectly. So I almost had to use it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just using stuff up. I care, but I don't care. I just want to get the stuff used up. And so I'm sure there's plenty of other photos I could have saved it for our tree. And then my journaling is all about just how... Oh, here I'm doing the little stencil of the trees just down at the bottom. Then my journaling ends up being just how it was really fun. It was really nice to have baptism during Christmas season and have all the decorations, and it was just really festive, and it was a good time of year. I planned it. I did not plan it at all. But that is what I've got for you. I'm just kind of finishing up here. There's going to be a close-up at the end. Make sure you check out everybody else who's doing Off the Board every day. Make sure you check back at Crystal's page so you can see everybody who's joining in. Thanks for watching, and you come back on Sunday to see me. Otherwise, tune into Crystal's page tomorrow. And like I said, don't forget to go check everybody else out. Thanks. Bye.